Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to Silent Film School, a series where I start to teach myself a little bit more about cinema by looking at the silent cinema, a sort of sub-genre that I haven't really delved too much into. This is one of these series that I'm really enjoying, but I don't do too often. I don't want to overwhelm myself too much, so every now and again I just feel like throwing on a silent movie. I pick one from the collection and check it out. This time, because it was October, was number 92 in the Master of Cinema series, and this is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Now, this is from 1920, and this is a title that you have probably heard of. It was one I had heard of even before I started looking into silent film. It is one that definitely has a huge reputation, and it was one that kind of loomed large on the horizon, something I was eager to check out. Like I said, I was getting to the Halloween spooky season, and I decided to, you know what, give this one a shot. I just felt like it one day. And this movie was a bit of a surprise. It has lots of typical sort of storytelling tropes that must have been like a first in this time. The movie starts off with this guy sitting in what looks like a garden of some sort, talking to an old man. This is Francis, one of the main characters. We're going to get the story through his eyes. And he is telling a story about this Dr. Caligari. Now, it jumps into this weird German expressionism sort of strange yet stunning sets that are all strange angles, forced perspectives, slanted walls and roofs with strange paint marks on it. They use sort of like white paint, dark paint for shadows in a lot of it, as well as using lighting as well. And it is a strange and otherworldly kind of setting, but this is a tale within a tale before Inception got there and long before Inception. And we start to meet this strange character of Dr. Caligari. Now, we don't spend too much time with him because it's not through his eyes, but he rolls into town and wants to set up something in the fair, and that is a somnambulist. Now, this is someone that's just permanently asleep. It's the character name of Cesare, and they bring in people to look at this, and Caligari, using hypnosis, wakes this man up. And he allows people to ask it questions, and they will get answers, you know, from this strange, otherworldly type person, Caesar. So people ask strange questions like, you know, when will I die? And get the horrific answer of, you will die before the sun rises in the morning. And we have this strange colour that's going on around about the town as well. Somebody or something is killing townsfolk, stabbing them with a large implement, and leaving no trace whatsoever. Now, you can see by a lot of what the story is going to offer, because there has been almost a century worth of film since then that have used, reused, regurgitated many of the storylines or plot points that you would see in this movie. But it doesn't take away the freshness from it. Because of these weird and otherworldly sets, the strange use of paint and just production design, it really does create something rather unique. We have this typical characters mostly, with the exception of Caligari and Caesar. Mostly everybody is your general person who populate this strange world of slanted floors and walls, of encroaching scenery round about them that really does just make you take a step back and marvel at the production design, but feel kind of icky and weird with how unusual it looks. As the story moves forward, I was enamoured by this tale. I enjoyed it. The tale felt fresh. It didn't feel something that had been super rehashed many times over the years. I was interested in where it was going to go, and it was full of surprises. I was interested in where it was going to go, and like I said, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit with some of the things. The performances are great, the sets are great, the storyline is pretty fantastic. But there was something missing. There was something cold about the movie. Something distancing me from really latching onto any of the characters, from really attaching myself to the tale. From a simply aesthetical point, the movie was lovely. From a story point, it's pretty sound. I enjoyed where the story went. From characters, I genuinely liked most of these characters. You know, they're honest people. They feel like honest characters. And yet, for some reason, I just couldn't connect with the movie. It just felt cold, which isn't the best thing, but I still can admire it. Now, if you're interested in this movie, I can highly suggest going and checking it out. Just now I'm going to just talk about the end of it because I feel like I want to talk about it, but and I also feel silly to give a spoiler warning for a 98-year-old movie, but that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment box below if you're leaving me right here. If not, let's get into the ending, which I found was rather terrific, and I didn't see it coming at all. So at the end of the movie, we find out that Francis chases Caligari back to this asylum where he is running the place, and discovers diaries about his scheme to reenact this Dr. Caligari from the 17th century, a book he'd read about. And then they get Caligari, they throw him into a cell, everything's done, and the day has been saved and everything has been won. And then we snap back to Francis telling the story. And as they get up and walk away, we realise that it's not a garden, but it is a garden, but it's a garden within this asylum. And Francis is one of the inmates there. The person who was playing Caligari is in fact the head of this asylum. His girlfriend in the story is wandering around there as well. Cesare in the story, the somnambulist, is there as well. And this has all been the figment of a mental patient. It's all been a story that he has just made up, a convoluted idea of everything that's populated his world. And it's terrific. It's so ahead of the curve with that kind of storytelling. It's a little bit more complex, a little bit more layered, a little bit more ingenuity within the story that I haven't seen from a lot of movies of this timescale. Most of the movies I've seen have been straightforward dramas or action or comedy. They just kind of follow like story beats enough to keep a kind of loose storyline there. This shows a certain level of creativity that I haven't seen before, which I really did appreciate in the movie. It was nice to. It also kind of justifies the whole expressionistic main part of the movie, because it is a warped idea from a warped mind. It doesn't come out as regular. It is all strange and otherworldly and weird and creative, and that's the way it should be. I thought the ending was terrific and really caught me off guard. Now the movie is pretty decent. I will go back and check it out again, absolutely. I just don't know what it was that was stopping me from really truly connecting with the film itself. But I'd love to know what you thought of the ending. I'd love to know what you thought of the film in general. I would also really like to get more suggestions from silent film that I can check out. So hit me up in the comment box below with some suggestions or what you thought of this movie. I'd love to see if you have a different opinion of it, something that could enlighten me a little bit more. And I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.